Hello and welcome back to the Pub Test Podcast. I'm your host, Fletcher, and my co-host is Thomas and Torino.
Thank you. Didn't like that you call me Thomas. I only get called Thomas when I'm in trouble.
Sorry. Tommy C.
Yeah, that works too.
Genty.
I'd like to think I'm not in trouble. Someone that is in trouble, though, is Riley O'Donnell, who is absent due to watching Carl Barron.
Not bad.
To be fair, I wish he asked me because I would have said yes to that because I've seen a lot of the little snippets on TikTok and they're very good. So if he had asked me, I would have said yes. But he was on a whim. It was in England.
Yeah,
like,
that too.
He's going on his own. So nice little solo date for him. But yeah, just us two to talk all things NBA, cricket, and soccer.
We got to ask him what his favourite joke was, and then maybe give us a sneak peek. We're not going to out his show, Carl Barron's show, but
yeah, I'd like to because I'd definitely love to go at some point. But yeah,
isn't
bit jealous.
Okay, fair enough.
He's pretty funny. He's pretty funny.
No, he is. He was actually getting on.
I honestly thought that too. I didn't want to say it, but I thought surely he'd be nearing retirement. I'm not sure if there's a retirement age.
Go for a very long time.
I think due to the lack of physicality required, athleticism, you probably could
go to 70.
I'm sure there's some comedians older than 70, but
oldest comedian in the world. Let's find out who it is. How did cricket go on Saturday and then tonight?
Okay, so cricket today. Oh, it's on Saturday. Sorry. I was a late call up to the twos, so I was named in the third, but I dropped despite my toofer. And then someone got injured, so I was into the twos. So we did pretty good. Bowled them out, put Banyul out for 170, and we are 1 for 34 in reply. I bowled 7 overs, not too bad, but went for about 20 odd runs. So none for. Had to leave the wickets to some other people. Corey, co-host of the podcast or special guest host.
Best guest in Australia right now.
Yeah, probably his best.
Marcus is in America.
Because Marcus is in the States, but he took 5 for Corey and a run out. So he had a blinder of a day. So well done to Corey. And then tonight the ones players mainly played in a T20 comp, so usually 3 games before Christmas, and it's a knockout from there. And they won. Played Hurst Bridge, the colourful folk from Hurst Bridge, and made 145 and bowled them out for 112. So we had Nick Murray, who a recruit from Banyul this season, took 5 for 11, including a hat-trick. And Luke O'Donnell, Riley's brother, as you can probably tell, took 2 for 6. So he was incredibly good himself.
But it didn't look good early.
No, it looked incredibly bad because we batted first, made 145, which is a decent score. And then their opening bat made 55 off 20 balls. Hit 5 sixes. I shit you not, Fletch. The first 45 minutes, we spent more time looking for balls than we did bowling them.
I came after the 5th over, and there was a few people that I was talking to. I'm not going to name names. But they were moving their cars because obviously switched after 5ers. So they were moving their cars because they thought, yep, this could get hit.
I didn't even get a thought because I've got a car park right next to the entrance. I don't know how I did that. I arrived half an hour late. But yeah, I didn't even get a thought that because his left-hander was hit 5 sixes. He was slapping them. We were trying to find ball left, right and centre. But once we got him out, we ran through them from there. So nice win for the Wanderer to kickstart their title defence. We won this last year. So the title defence. What?
Nothing. I'm just thinking, you're not doing so well this year, the Wanderer.
The ones are not, although they did pretty good on the weekend. 2s, 3s, and 4s are. So I'm undefeated, Fletch. I'm 4-0.
I get that.
But the ones not yet. But they should. They're on top this week.
I thought you were expecting to be a little bit better.
Yes, for sure. Yes.
Than you are this year.
Without a shadow of a doubt, we were expecting to do better. But
just gelling.
Correct. It is kickstarting. But the rest of the grades are very good. So I'm undefeated and should be undefeated again after this weekend. So 5-0 for me.
Was it 2-day? I feel like
2-day. Yep. 2-day. Yeah. So we should be. So we're about the 2s should win from here. We're 140 to get. We should win.
Don't put the mods on yourself because.
Well, I'm batting at 10, so I'm hoping to not. My goal is to not bring my kid out. I do not want to bat.
Leave it at home if you're that confident.
I'm going to leave it in the car.
No, leave it at home. If you're confident, leave it at home.
Coach of the club's like, Tommy, you padding up? No, boys, we'll get there. Tommy, you're in next. Nah, boys, we're good.
Well, that's confidence. You said you're going to win, so.
I'm at 10. I should not need to even pad up, let alone. The coach of the club has said he wants it done by tea. So I'd like to think I should not be required. So To the point where I've kept the same breakfast for years, Fletch. I'm going to change it up because I'm not expecting to do anything. So I've had the same drink for 2 years now. I want to change drink, and I've been waiting till I had a shit performance to do it because I've been pretty good this season so far. Not toot my own horn. But I'm not going to bat, so I'm not going to put the miles on myself. So I'm just going to get a new drink. So, yeah, that's how confident I am.
God, this is a... If next week we ask this question, you've lost from here.
I won't rock up next week.
This is...
If we've lost because I've told us we're going to win. We'll win.
And is the real reason you change your drink is because it's like a $45 meal?
That's part of the reason, yeah. I've narrowed it down from 41 to 34.
$34 breakfast. Not dinner.
Yes.
Breakfast.
And yes, and I'm having to spend that on breakfast, and then I'm lucky enough to have a new girlfriend as of this week. So I'm spending money on that too. It's adding up. But she's worth spending the money on, so it's all right.
Oh, you done the hole.
She listens
and jumped out of the hole.
She listens now, so I have to say that.
Oh, God.
But no, in all seriousness, I'm trying to slowly lower that cost for breakfast. The boys all spend like $25 because they all get a focaccia and a coffee. But I can't have the focaccia due to my dietary requirements. And I'm not the only one that gets a smoothie, and the smoothie's like $9. Yeah, I'll get the eggs my way. So the eggs my way would be pretty cheap. So it's literally the smoothie that's costing me.
Smoothie for $9, like, seriously.
Yeah.
It's what, ice and some bananas or something like that?
For me, it's mango. So I get the mango one. Although this week I'm gonna change it up. Get the banana one.
Don't tell us. Oh, you tell us.
Banana with like some fun stuff in there. Should be good. If we lose, it's on me.
Yeah, all-time Moz this week.
Actually, could be. But anyway.
The oldest comedian in the world is 89.
There you go. Carl Barron's got a little bit to go towards that.
Now, her last name's Forrest, but her first name is D''Y''A''N. How would you say that?
Wait, what's that again?
D''Y''A''N.
D-N.
D-N?
D-N.
But she's... I don't mean to sound... She's quite not of colour. She's white.
D-N.
Like a... You know, like...
D-N.
In the basketball scene, they may say D'Anthony instead of Anthony.
D-Yen.
Because they've got coloured skin.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying. But I'd say that'd be... As it's spelled, it's D-Yen. D-Yen. Not N, D-Yen.
That's too much for me. Move on from that.
It's not basketball.
Transition to basketball now because we were talking about basketball players, D'Anthony Melton.
That's a smooth transition.
Little waiver wire pick Tommy's looking at this week. If anyone's in our fantasy league, just pick him up.
Yeah, maybe.
Now we're going to talk about some young studs that are taking over the NBA. Could be fighting for first team or NBA first team by the end of the year. Tyrese, Maxey, and Halliburton.
Both got the same last name, which is funnily enough. Tyrese Maxey, Tyrese Halliburton. Yeah, it is.
Last name or
first name?
First name. Yeah, I was going to say. They're killing it, both of them. I mean, there's a lot to say, but who? I mean, we've watched Halliburton do this for a little bit longer, but are you not shocked? What's the right word? Do you think that Maxey can keep this going all season and be a legit first team? Because right now, I don't have another point guard ahead of them two. Or like Steph. I'm
not sure. I don't think Maxey would push for first. I think he's pushing for third team, personally. I just think at some point, we talked about off air how efficient he's being. I'm not sure that efficiency can continue, but gee whiz, it's just... Harden going has just unlocked something. It's almost like there's no doubt. Embiid's 1, Maxey's 2, Harris is 3, and then they've got the pieces like Covington and Batum around them that it's just gelling so much better. And Embiid made those little comments about just that there's no selfish players anymore, and that was definitely a jab at Harden. But he's flying, Maxey. I don't think anyone expected. Obviously, when Harden goes, you're expecting some sort of a lift, but not to this level. I'd pose you the question. You're starting a franchise tomorrow. Who are you picking?
Over those two?
Yeah.
You probably have to take Halliburton because he's done it for 12 months longer.
I like his player making a bit better too. Just if he's the face of your franchise, I'd probably take Halliburton just because I think playmaking's a tad better.
Yeah.
But then again, you'd also make the case that might not just be he's a better passer, might just be the ball in his hands more because he's not playing with an Embiid.
Well, I would actually make the case that I'd take Tyrese Maxey because just the offensive ability he's got. Like, I think, could turn to, like, legit Kyrie Irving levels. Halliburton's good. He's not like a one-on-one player. He needs a screen. He needs a few things.
Maxey's so quick.
I think Maxey could be just put me on an island and I'll go score, get a bucket every time.
I think he's more exciting to watch.
Yeah, he's definitely more... His speed. He's got so much
quick.
speed.
He's so quick.
And he's learned that little, like, step-back three. So the moment he, like, gets a half step, he just gets on the... you have to recover. Then he just has a little step-back three and he's been knocking that down. So I'd almost pick Maxey because of the fact that if I want a bucket, he can get me a bucket. Whereas I think Tyrese just, with his shot, just doesn't look so conventional and kind of struggles with it. But in a team, in a system, Tyrese will maximise all the players on your team.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, it's a hard one. Halliburton will maximise everyone on your team. I said Tyrese because they're both...
So they're both Tyreses.
Yeah. But Halliburton will maximise all the players on the court, whereas Maxey can just go get a bucket whenever he wants, basically. So it's kind of different, but it's cool. I reckon they're good.
Could you say that Tyrese Maxey has more just pure talent? Or is that's probably hard to judge? It's probably hard to judge.
They probably got both. They both got pure
As
talent.
I said, it's probably just Maxey's more fun to watch because he's so quick. He's a bit more aggressive.
Yeah.
But
he's a bit more aggressive.
they're both absolutely flying. I think Maxey's absolutely a shout for an All-NBA team. I think it's more the third team, but he's absolutely a shout. The way he's playing, like, just top 50. So
I'd love to know his contract because he was cheap a couple of years ago. I don't know if he's signed a new contract since then.
Well, I hope for his sake, hope not, because he's going to get a max.
We need to make like a All NBA team or an All Star team to get the max. But he drafted. No, it doesn't say drafted. 2020 draft. Do they have 2 contracts or 3? That'll be the interesting bit because if it's a 3 contract, he'll be coming out of his rookie contract. He'll be getting max. Sure.
Max deal.
Max easy. Like.
Yes.
So that'll be really interesting. They'll obviously keep him, and Sixers got so much money. They got like 50 mil this year. And
the Sixers are probably exceeding all expectations early on. I know. I think I had them the 6th seed or something. So I'm not sure exactly, but it was a 5 or 6 seed, and they're right now outside of Boston and Milwaukee. You can almost make a case right now they're a better team than Milwaukee. Right now. Right now.
Yeah, okay.
By the end of the season, no way, Jose. But I'm saying right now on form, you can make that case.
They're leading the East 8-1. So.
I'm absolutely not saying that I'm going to pick them to get out the East. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm still picking Milwaukee. But and understandably, Milwaukee is still gelling with Dame. Right now, in a game, I'd pick the 76 over the Bucks. Right now.
The Bucks got the worst defense of the league.
That's what I'm worried about. As I said, I think they'll fix it. But right now, Philadelphia 76 are better.
The Pacers are 4-6 with a few teams, but they're third in the East.
Wait, what?
So yeah, they're third in the East.
Who?
Pacers. Indiana Pacers.
4-6.
Yeah.
Is
no,
third.
6 and 4.
I was going to say, hang on. That's no way.
Did I say 4-6?
Yeah.
With Miami and Milwaukee.
Yeah, well.
6 and 4. So, I mean, Tyrese is doing because I know they got Bruce Brown, which
he's 2 years.
Nothing nice,
I'm
but
a little bit.
They're doing a lot with not much, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely they are. Players like Neesmith and Nembhard and stuff. Yeah, so they're, to be fair, I think did I pick them as my over 38 wins?
I'm not
I think
sure.
I did. So I had them getting 40 wins. At the moment, they're going to get it. So, but Halliburton has proven to be a bit injury prone. My bet rests on does he play enough games? Because I'm not sure what their record were when he got injured last year. I can't imagine it's good.
No, it was bad afterwards. It was a real.
They also had Turner injured too. It didn't help. But I think if he stays healthy, they're going to get 40 wins.
Wow, that's a big.
I think my bet was 38.5. So yeah.
So we're sticking with Halliburton as a better player. That's just an all-around.
You're right now. Maxey, he's shown flashes. This is the first year he's done it consistently. Obviously, last year he was doing it in spurts. He did it when Harden missed, when Embiid missed. He needed someone to be out. Now he's the second guy. He's proving it. But I think you're still taking Halliburton. Just body of work, I guess.
Maxey jersey. Might have to get a Maxey jersey.
I told you I'm in the market for a new jersey this year. So for Christmas I want one. I haven't decided who it is yet.
He's very likable.
Tyrese Maxey right now is on the radar.
Yeah.
Luka, Maxi. There's a couple of Morata.
He's very likeable, that one. Now, this is a bit of a who are you more concerned of?
Mm-hmm.
Clippers? We'll say in Los Angeles. So, Clippers or the Lakers? Who are you more
I wanted to
concerned?
talk about both of these, so I'm glad we made this into a bit of a question.
Who have you got that you're more worried they're going to miss or not make it out of playing or something like that at the moment?
So hang on, so make it a play. So what am I more concerned they won't make it to the playoffs?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Because I think they're both outside the playoffs at the moment.
I'm more concerned about Lakers.
More concerned about the
Which
Lakers.
I had them as the 3 seed at the start of the thing. But we talked up their off-season signings as amazing. But they still are shit without LeBron. The stats with them without LeBron are alarming. LeBron's playing, that game's cap lasted 2 games. That game's lasted 2 games. But they are so bad without LeBron, you just can't expect LeBron to play 37 minutes a night for 80 games. He ain't doing it. And they, last year, before the trade deadline, they couldn't shoot. They wouldn't shoot. They got the trade deadline happened, they fixed it, and then they made that run. This year, I think they're the lowest for 3-point attempts, and they're like the 7th lowest for percentage. They don't shoot them because they're no good at them. That scares me.
Yeah.
LeBron can't keep doing this, especially in year 21. AD is getting injured at some point. He's already missed a game or two, that hip injury or whatever. He's going to miss time. I am concerned. But the Clippers have a very compelling case, as you're about to say.
They added... Well, we'll talk about Lakers for a little bit. They added some really nice pieces. Like, Christian Wood's got oozes talent, but doesn't put it together.
I mean, he's been in a few different clubs in not much time, but you're right. He is very, very talented.
At 6'10", and the way he moves, he just oozes talent. He can shoot the ball a little bit, not a great shooter, but he's not a bad shooter.
Good scorer.
And then, even Cambridge, I know high draft pick was really touted to be really this awesome beast, but it's kind of been pushed around the league and finally found a bit of a home at the Lakers. And then Gabe Vincent as a shooter at Miami made a name for himself last year. But they just haven't clicked, and those guys are definitely not sort of proving themselves. And then AR obviously got the big contract and has not fit at all.
Reeves is a bit of an issue. Yeah. My hope is that when he starts playing better, they will play better, because he started really poor. I'd love to see. Let me pull his stats up real quick. But I'd love to see how they will go if he showed his playoff form from last year or earlier in the year. But his stats, it's not cool. It doesn't come up. But
the
it's
only
no
problem
good.
with him is his usage that he was getting last year. He's going to D'Lo now. D'Lo's got that usage. That's what when I'm watching. I'm like, D'Lo's getting a lot more usage than he was in the playoffs, because he was really bad in the playoffs. And now he's not really getting it.
Reeves needs that usage.
And he's almost the 4th scorer in the starters. Whereas I put him to the bench now, and now he's the first scorer off the bench, if you know what I mean? So he gets a few more shots in that way.
Okay, so here's Reeves now. Reeves is averaging 13.8 points a game. 13, 4, and 4.
Yeah, it's shocking. On some
with
terrible...
2.5 turnovers a game too. 18, 15, 7, 23, 20. Just very inconsistent.
Yeah.
And especially when the likes of you're hoping that LeBron and AD can kind of sit more games. You're kind of thinking that as long as they get to the playoffs, LeBron and AD hopefully fit, they can beat anyone. But yeah, these off-season signings haven't clicked like we kind of assumed. We all thought they got so much better from it, like Jackson Hayes and stuff, but just hasn't clicked.
It'll be interesting if they go to the big lineup, play Anthony Davis at the power forward, and then a Hayes or a Christian Wood at the centre, because I feel like they're not going to beat people through the new NBA 3-point shooting. So you might as well double down on 6'10" guys plus and just bully them in the paint and just have everything at the rim, and you'll win every battle there.
They have to, because they're not shooting threes. Problem is, it's become the league where you got to shoot. So you got to at least be. You don't have to be. You got to at least be decent. And right now, teams can afford to clog the paint because they're just not shooting the three, let alone making it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you got to play defense too to do that, because then you get easy transition buckets, and it opens up the offense. Whereas they don't play much defense, so they got a lot to figure out. And I don't think they got Vanderbilt out, and Gabe Vincent's been out for a couple of weeks now, but was shit out to start off the season. So, Vanderbilt's not going to change their 3-point shooting. So they don't really have many other options to kind of change up that sort of stuff. The Clippers are really concerning me. So they made the trade for James Harden. We talked about that last week, I think, a little bit. We're obviously seeing a bit of pudding, and the proof is showing that's not good. Now, we heard all the talk on the talk shows about this could be the best offense ever. The only problem is this is not 4-ball basketball. There's one ball, and there's only so many possessions you're going to get. And they have too many people that want to score with the ball in their hands. James Harden is a classic example of that. James Harden and Russell Westbrook need the ball in their hands to facilitate for people and also score for people. We're watching James Harden catch a ball in the corner and should be just catch and shoot. He ends up taking a dribble because he's not used to catching and shooting.
PG did it too.
Yep.
PG and Man did it. PG did it. It's become like a thing where they need that rhythm dribble, and then that obviously gives defenses a chance to close out.
Like, it's not working. You can only have so many scorers that want to score with the basketball. They need some more shooters. They need people running off screws. I mean, it was a really good point Stephen A. Smith said it. James Harden is like the Statue of Liberty. He, on offense, just stands at 3-point line. Does nothing else. Like, they're all just statues watching each other play. It's like, you're not helping each other. It's so difficult for them to score. So, and then on the other end of the floor, defense is just not existent. They don't give an F about defense. It is just walk through and get what you want when you want it. Like, Orlando just blew them apart the other day. Like, it is horrific. So I'm seriously concerned about him because what does Ty Lue do? Hey, Russell Westbrook, get on the bench. Terrence Mann, you're playing.
Ty Lue is always known to be that player's coach.
Yeah.
So it's like, how you tell a Rusty going on the bench. And I think the concerning thing for me is I haven't watched a whole lot of Clippers because I haven't got any Clippers players in my fantasy, so I haven't really been watching a lot of them. But that Grizzlies game was concerning because they were bad, and then they made that run the last quarter. And that run happened when Harden was off the floor. The stats with and without Harden are alarming. Now, we finally, for a few years we've seen Russ really struggle. They finally had Russ playing a role that he was good at.
Yeah.
He was the third guy, really great hustle defense player. We finally saw a version of Russ we hadn't seen for a few years where he was really impactful. But now Harden's come in and it's just all messed up. Harden's like, you're right, he needs to take more spot up shots, but he can't. And then we saw recently that Westbrook took more shots in a game than Kawhi, which should never happen in any of the 82 games and in any playoff games you play for the rest of your career. Kawhi Leonard, you should not let Russell Westbrook take more shots than you.
Yep, totally agree with that. And then that's where they need to sort all that shit out. Like, it needs to be quiet and PG having 20 shots a game. And then it needs to be the rest. You get what you get and you don't get upset.
It should be right. It should be those taking 20. It should be Harden taking 12 to 15
Yep.
while getting 10 assists. Russ taking, again, 10 to 12 shots. But him getting might be a 12, 8, and 4 game with multiple defensive stats. You just can't afford. The annoying thing is PG's been their best player this year. And he's probably the one player off the ball.
Totally agree
the
with that.
one player.
Yeah. He's the only one that do catch and shoot. He's the only one.
It is concerning. For me, I just think that they're talented enough that they should make the playoff just on
but we
talent
said
alone.
they added more talent. They lost. They've
gotten worse.
Five losses in a row.
They've gotten worse with this talent,
and not to good teams.
No, like Grizzlies were one of the 2 worst teams in the league when they lost to them.
Yeah,
and Orlando Magic, no right losing to them.
No. Like, this is concerning.
It is concern central.
And did you see the other day, I was watching the game, and it was close. I forget who they were playing. They subbed James Harden in
with a minute
Westbrook
to go.
Out, and Westbrook was not happy.
Was he? So I heard that they subbed Harden in with a minute to go.
Walked to the bench, grabbed the towel, said, "This is fucking bullshit." Like,
already.
You could see that, him lipping that. I'm like, this is not good. Like, they're not swallowing their ego. They're not swallowing their ego, and it's just going to kill them.
It is. You're right. And even if they make the playoffs, we've seen this doesn't work in the playoffs.
Bro, there's so many cracks.
Teams just play defense and you're cooked.
And the moment you have one weakness, teams just go at that weakness.
So teams will just abuse the shit out of James Harden. They will find Harden on every single possession and pick on him.
He'll play defense for every minute he's on the court. Every second he's on the court, he'll be playing defense the whole time.
The ball will be near him at all times, whether it's on offense or defense.
Yeah. He's going to be in every action.
Literally.
It's just going to be an absolute barrage of where is your biggest weakness. And they've got so many weaknesses. It would be just incredible.
And Kawhi and PG, while they're still good defenders, they're not the elite level defenders that they once were.
Kawhi could maybe do it in the playoffs, but he can only do it for so many games. If you're playing 7 game after 7 game after 7 game series, he will break down by the end. But if you're playing like a sweep, get to the next round, sweep, play a 7.
Which won't be happening.
We can't see it happening.
No.
Right? So I do have concerns about them. They probably make playoffs. They will make playoffs. You'd want to hope they make playoffs.
I didn't realise they go up every first round pick till 2030. 30. I heard that on a YouTube video today.
Wow.
I heard that on a YouTube video today from that.
It must have been the Shea
King
one.
of the fourth quarter guy, Kenny. I watched the YouTube video on the Clippers, and apparently it's since 2030. Mad. That can't be
the
real.
Clippers. Because I know OKC's got 17 first round draft picks.
Well, yeah, it's like Shea and then PG.
Paul George's trade. So, and look at Shea. Shea's probably a better player than PG right now.
Yep.
And they gave up draft picks for him.
Yeah, no, Riley still hates it. Riley, I think Riley leveled that down.
Anyway. We're going to talk about the Houston Rockets. Now, you made a bet at the start of the year.
I didn't want to.
And you're almost already paying out the money now.
And it's funny because a week ago I was sending a message to the group chat of Corey and Riley saying, I was after the Spurs beat the Suns in back-to-back games.
And Wemby had 38.
And Wemby had 38, 10 and 2 blocks, whatever. And I said, boys, you going to pay me my $10 now or are you going to wait till the season? And since then, Dylan Brooks and co have been like, hold my beer, Tommy. Yeah. And they've gone 6 straight wins. Yeah. So my one hope was that the Spurs would have a big enough head start with Wemby playing, that when Wemby eventually gets sat or injured, they'll be too far ahead. That ain't happening.
No.
That is not happening.
They look very good.
They look very good, Houston. So I might pay that out now.
You're already giving up.
Cash out value.
Cash out value.
I'm basically giving up because Wemby just won't play these 2 games, will he?
No, he won't.
He won't be. So, I think, I needed the Spurs to have a 5-6 game head start by All-Star break minimum, and that just won't be happening. So, fair play to the Houston. They're finding a way. I mean, I haven't even watched many games, so again, I hope you have more stats than I do because I don't really know how they're doing it. My guess is they're making shots because they have a lot of blokes like take a lot of shots. Players like Jalen Green, I know Dylan Brooks is playing good. That I know. And Şengün has been touted as baby Jokic. So
they obviously started the year 0-3. And before the year started, I labelled them as the Kardashian of the basketball community. And I thought it was going to continue. But since that 0-3 start, they've really gelled and meshed together. They're not playing a whole lot of defense. They are playing a little bit of defense, a bit more than the Clippers. But it is offensively, they are incredibly hard to line up with, and they've got a lot of talent there. Şengün is leading the points per game at 19.4, but then Green is right behind at 19, and then Fred VanVleet 17, Dylan Brooks 13, and then Jabari Smith Jr. at 12. So
by committee,
all 5 are averaging over 10 points. With a few 20s there. They're shooting quite efficiently from the 2, not so much from the 3, but the 2 is where they're doing the damage. Şengün is at 65%, Green's at 40%, and then Fred VanVleet is at 40%, and Dylan Brooks and Jabari Smith Jr. are both at 50 and 60%. So they are very, very efficient in the 2. The 3 is about the same. Şengün's at 25, Jalen Green's at 40, Fred VanVleet is at 36, Dylan Brooks is at 53, and then Jabari Smith Jr. is at 33. But what they're saying there is Fred VanVleet takes a few tougher 3-pointers because he's moving, kind of screens. His percentage is a bit lower, but then we've still got Jalen Green, nice 3-point percentage at 40%, and Dylan Brooks at 53 as a catch-and-shoot spot-up man. So they're finding ways to score efficiently without wasting possessions, and that's meaning that they're getting wins and maximising. That's why they can have five people averaging over 10 points, which I don't think you'd see very often in the league.
I didn't think you'd see that from. Yeah, I didn't think you'd see that from a Houston.
No.
side. And I'm also very surprised that Şengün's leading their team in points. I'm not saying that's a bad idea because I think he's probably got the most potential out of all of them.
He's probably the steadiest out of all of them.
Yeah.
Like the rest of them can go up and down. He's probably going to stay at a steady
I know
rate.
from fantasy-wise, I was debating. I thought he was either going to have a really big breakout year because he's going to get all the ball, or he wasn't going to touch the ball and it was going to be shit. And I think we're seeing it's the former.
Yeah, it is. But, yeah, they're doing a fantastic job.
Like a 23, 8, and 5 against Jokic.
It's good numbers.
That's good numbers.
Good numbers.
Yeah.
Ime Udoka is doing a fantastic job. I think Boston will be regretting sacking him so quickly. He must have done something.
He must have done something seriously bad.
Because they would probably win a championship if they didn't do that.
Because yes, you're probably right.
I don't really trust Joe Mazzulla, but he's doing with the lineup like this. He's doing some incredible things with them at the moment. No, it's early, but he's maximising this lineup, and he obviously did it at Boston for 1 year. Imagine he has 2 or 3 years there at Boston. So, fair play to the Rockets.
Yeah.
Hopefully this is continuous instead of just gets a 4-star break and drops off. But they are a scary lineup. Lot of talent, athletic, confident, a little bit of swagger, but also one thing I didn't think I was going to say about Houston, working together. They're cohesive and working together, which normally, what we saw for the last 2 years with them was the complete opposite. It was almost punching each other in the face because you just wanted to shoot shots. So, well done to them. We've got to give kudos to when they're doing it. So, incredible. Let's see if they keep doing it. DeMar DeRozan's pass today. Best ever?
Holy shit, that was good. I hadn't seen it. I said I hadn't seen it. You're like, Tommy, you're watching it before we record. And holy shit, he does, for context, he goes for a layup, goes for like a 360 layup, but then at last second pulls out and makes a pass over the back of his shoulder to a guy in the corner who hits the three. Holy shit, that will be the pass of the season.
It's got to be. It's like a 360, passed at the 180, but kept doing the 360. Got him.
Over the back of his shoulder. I don't know how he even saw him. That was incredible.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, that was... My reaction was like, whoa! But it was pretty cool. So, yeah, I would watch that if you haven't.
Yes, definitely recommend. And I reckon we'll win pass the year. Now, I just want to add in the Pelicans at the end here. 5-game losing streak. They are pretty much fit and healthy apart from Herb Jones and Trey Murphy III.
CG.
And CG. But they've got Wiggins and Zion and plenty of depth, so I don't see why they're not doing this, why they're not doing better. We said almost 18 months ago this team almost looked unbeatable for 2 or 3 years, where Zion was almost MVP level. Brandon Ingram looked really good. They were meshing really well. They were first in the West. Now they're 18 months later struggling to get into the play-in tournament. They look like they can't shoot a friggin' basketball to save themselves. They don't hit threes. They barely hit twos. They don't play any defense. I almost think that Trey Murphy and Herb Jones are 2 most important players in the team because Zion doesn't play defense, so then that's what Herb Jones does, and then they do not hit threes, and that's what Trey Murphy does. So
I didn't realise how bad the defense has been.
Yep.
136 to the Mavs, 104 to the Rockets, 122 to the Timberwolves, 134 to the Nuggets, 123 to the Hawks. Holy shit.
Yep. Not a lick.
Not a lick of defense.
Not a lick.
And look, they've got a few injuries that we mentioned, but jeepers, they're not that... Like, you've got 2 best players playing. This shouldn't be from 1 seed to out the play-in. Like, this... Yeah, like, they've got a few injuries, CJ and stuff, but that's not an excuse for how bad they're doing now.
And you kind of thought, like, they had the injuries at the back half of the year and they dropped off and they missed the playoffs. Mm-hmm. You kind of went, that's injuries. We'll see another 12 months to develop. But
yeah,
they haven't started off well. And you kind of go, when are we going to sit here and stop turning around saying, oh, 1 more year and, when they get everyone back? Like, when are we going to stop saying that and saying, get up and get over it and get some wins? Because the Grizzlies, they started bad this year, but last year they didn't have Ja for a long time. They still got wins. Like, teams are getting up. Teams are finding a way to win. These guys don't find a way to win. So, concerned about them. Mightily concerned.
For sure. Especially because, the Clippers being bad, but the Clippers are worse than them. I can't imagine the Clippers will stay at 11th. What I mean,
Ooh, surely not. Surely not.
You'd be shocked.
Yeah,
You'd be shocked. I mean, you can't rule it out right now, but I'd be shocked.
But like, apart from anyone from 10
I can't see anyone in there. Maybe the Rockets. For the only one.
Probably the only one.
They're the only one that will capitulate from there. Like, even like you're looking at it, the Mavs, the 2 seed,
Oh,
Timberwolves,
non-moving.
the form side, they'll make the play in. Thunder, Kings, Warriors, Lakers, Suns, they will be in there.
Yeah.
So I just don't know who they overtake from there, the Pels.
No one.
The only one is the Rockets.
Rockets.
But then you imagine the Clippers will overtake the Rockets too. So there's only 11 teams fighting for those 8 spots.
They might be the 10 seed, but the biggest, like a long way away. Just
whoever's
like
the
a massive
7th
jump.
Whoever's the 7th would whack them.
Yeah. So I'm concerned about him, and maybe a Brandingham-led side isn't going to be it, and maybe Zion doesn't really want to be there, and they're not committing. So, Pelican fans, just hold on, brace for the next 12 months.
Concern.
That's the end of basketball. Want to talk about some cricket?
Yes, cricket heating up. So it is the semi-final of the World Cup starting, tomorrow our time. It will be on the night for those that are tuning in on the Wednesday. It is India again, far and above. We talked about it last week, so I won't harp on it too much. Probably the most dominant group stage performance we've ever seen.
Didn't lose a game?
Didn't even get close to losing a game, Fletch. To the point they started bowling Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma, who are 2 guys who have never... I'm not sure they've ever bowled in a test match. They were bowling to Netherlands a few days ago. So I don't think they've ever got a test wicket, and they were bowling to the Netherlands. So it's like they're resting their set. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, because it's basically the equivalent of... I'm trying to think what the AFL equivalent... It'd be putting your full back at full forward when you're up by 100 points just for the sake of it. Just cause. It'd be like, but it'd just be just for the sake of it. It'd be playing 5-point guards in basketball just for the sake of it. And I'm thinking that if Australia did that, if Australia started bowling David Warner for the sake of it, I reckon there'd be serious backlash that would be disrespectful to the opposition.
Probably. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Whereas because it's India, it's seen as funny. And it's like, oh, wow, yay, the Virat got a wicket. That'd be Steve Smith or Alex Carey just bowling because they're shit. Why not?
It's not really nice.
The game was over.
Netherlands.
So it's fun. I understand they did it because they want to protect their fast bowlers, and I guess I can see that. But this seems disrespectful. Anyway,
they could have done a sub before the game started.
It's a bit strange, and they played a full strength side, Fletch, in a game that they were that far ahead of everyone. So I'm surprised they didn't play a full strength side. To be honest,
that's what I mean. They could just not play.
You're correct. If you want to rest them, just don't play them.
Yeah.
Because the game meant nothing. Anyway, so they're playing New Zealand. So that'll be... And if there's one team that are going to beat India and cause an upset, it's New Zealand. Because
Really?
New Zealand are known for... New Zealand are known for causing boilovers. And because they're just quite achieved. They just go about their business. And then they somehow just make a final. Wow, they're in a final.
Hebrew.
And yeah, literally. I was like, did you say Hebrew? He said, this was the accent. And India are known to lose these games. So if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be New Zealand. So it's hard. I'd almost feel unjust for India not to win from here. But it'd just be funny, wouldn't it?
It'd be
funny.
Karma.
It'd be funny.
It'd be karma.
And then Australia will be playing South Africa the next night. So the Thursday night.
Do you have any shot? Or South Africa?
Yeah, we do.
Good.
We do have a shot. The issue right now for me is rain. Is the issue, because 30% chance of rain on the day. The next day, the reserve day, is 40% chance. Now, if the game doesn't get completed, South Africa go through.
Wow.
Because they're higher on the ladder.
They won't play it at all. They won't.
But there's just 2 days. You'd like to think in 2 days they get 100 overs in. You'd like to think so, but it is a thought. South Africa have been very good. They knocked us off early in the tournament, but that was when Australia was shit. So Australia have obviously won 7 on the bounce since then. It's going to be some sort of game. I don't think anyone knows what the team's going to be. We tried doing it last week. For me, it's either Marnus or Stoinis. That's the last change?
And you going with Stark doesn't come in?
Oh yeah, Stark walks in for Abbott because I know they've rested a few. They did a bunch of funky things, but Stark obviously comes back in for Abbott. I think I like Stoinis more, but Stoinis can't play spin, and South Africa have two very good spinners in Shamsi and Maharaj, and I think that Stoinis will get exposed. So I like Stoinis more generally, but I think they will pick Marnus because he's better at spin. But no one knows, Fletch. We've done that many different things. Green's played some games, Stoinis played some games, Marnus played every game, despite not even being in the squad when it was first announced. We don't know, Fletch, but Australia's absolutely red hot crack. We found South Africa are amazing batting first, so we have to make sure we win the toss.
Practice the toss, like
practice the toss. Practice the flipping the coin. doing 20 a day. Heads, tails. Let's pick one. But South Africa are serious. Quinton de Kock. He's scary, and their bowling attack is also incredibly good. So yeah, it's going to be some sort of match. So I'm very, very excited to sit down with some M&Ms, a dare ask coffee, and get stuck into both games. But who knows?
Who's the danger man for with the bat against us, like for South Africa?
De Kock.
West Indies.
But West Indies, who?
Who are we playing?
We're playing South Africa. Yeah.
South Africa.
Yeah, Quinton de Kock.
Oh.
He's one of the best batters in the world. One day batters in the world.
And then for the ball, who do you reckon is going to get Australia? Who are you worried about?
The left arm spinner Maharaj.
Okay.
We can't play spin for shit. And left arm spinners are known to be good in India, and he's been very good this tournament. Won me some money, so thank you, Keshan Maharaj. But yeah, he is the one for me. It's that Australia got a few players that aren't great with spin in the lineup, and he's been unreal. So for me, it's him. Him or the other spinner. Both spinners for me have always been a concern for Australia.
So Australia or South Africa?
I think I'm going to have to go Australia. I just think we're in better form. I know it's hard because South Africa have probably been a bit more consistent throughout the tournament. I think they've been the better team throughout. Obviously, why they finished second. But for me, I think it's to be Australia. Oh, do I predict a boil over?
And then India or New Zealand?
Oh, I'm actually so close to New Zealand. I think it's going to be India. I think it's going to be India, but I think I think Australia won't beat India. I think it'll be India. And the final's on Sunday, so I'll predict the final now. I think I just can't. I don't think I could physically record and release a podcast to the general public and not tip India. I don't think it's... Yeah. I just think if I tip someone else and they win, I look like a dickhead. So I don't think I could physically tip one that, honestly think New Zealand are a red hot chance. But I just don't think I could physically record a podcast to the public and tip against India.
Well, there you go. They're just white hot. So
they're so good.
You can't bet against them.
They're stacked. Really? They had a player that Shami made the team in the tournament. Wasn't even in the squad. Wasn't even in the side for the first half of the tournament. He's made the team in the tournament. They're that good, Fletch. It's not even fair.
Oh god. All right. India to win all.
Yeah, I think Riley would say the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Although Riley might predict the boil over too. Wish I asked him, but India should be.
But if you've gone on the form, you've just got to go with that.
You have to. I look like an idiot if I don't tip him.
The soccer, one of the best games of all time, 4-4 draw.
Just quickly, so obviously, not having Riley here, obviously you're not a big soccer guy. Obviously, you need your sleep on the weekends because you work as hard as you do. Whereas I can afford to get up I get up at 3:30 on a Monday morning.
Yeah, no, not a chance.
Oh yes, so it wasn't the greatest to wake up to, but gee whiz. I was here on the podcast last week saying the Tottenham game was one of the best games I've ever watched. This was one of the best games. Obviously, I haven't been a soccer fan for as long as some of the other people on TikTok and that. This has been regarded as one of the best games of all time, Fletch. 4-4. We went 1-0 down, pulled back to 1-1, went to 2-1 up, 3-2 down, 4-3 down, and then we equalised in the 95th minute. So they scored in the 90th minute to make it 4-3, which would be a very unjust loss. And then a player that we signed from Man City only a few months ago scores the game levelling penalty, and the reaction was so cold. It was just a shrug of the shoulders. It was unreal. And then it must have you heard in the press conference after the game. It's like, that was so cold. You practice penalties? Nah, just kick it and see what happens. So I'd be lying to you if I told you I practice them at training. I don't.
Yeah.
So
is it a good tactic? Because then you don't even know where it's going. How did the keeper reach it?
Yeah, and there's also like very like you don't get which. It's also like it doesn't cloud you. You're not overthinking it.
Yeah,
You're not overthinking it. You're just like, okay, I'm good here. I'm kick here.
Yeah.
So yeah, it doesn't cloud your judgment. You're not thinking did this in training. I was good this week, but last penalty I took in a game, I was good here. You probably leaves less overthinking, but
confident though.
Yeah, very it was. And Chelsea, weirdly enough, as for as shit as they've been, we've played the top 5 teams or top 4 teams and haven't lost any of them.
That's positive.
Arsenal, Liverpool, and Man City, we drew to them all, and we beat Man City. So Chelsea just play better against good teams. We struggle against teams that sit back, Fletch. We play a good team, we're not going to lose. But we can't break down sides that defend. Like purely defend.
Yeah.
So it's a curious case, but this happened last time. Chelsea had a few good performances, like we're back, and then we have a stinky 2-0 loss to Brentford. So there's international breaks, no soccer this week, so no soccer. We want to talk about our fantasy really quickly.
Oh, yeah. No, not really, actually.
Well,
I don't want to.
Fletch doesn't really want to, because I know you've had a bit of a rough start.
Yeah, I'm about to quit the app. Forget my passwords.
While you get yours up, I've started off alright. So I've started off 2-1. So I won my first 2. I beat Brody. Oh no, I beat Luke Corder, who we were the 2 highest scorers the whole week. So Luke was pretty hard done by there. And then I beat Kelsey. Didn't have a great week, but he had a worse one, so I won that. And then so I got lucky there. But to be fair, I had a really great first week, so I didn't feel too lucky. Yeah. And then I lost to Will, who was the best player. I think he was the highest scorer for the week. I didn't score great myself, so I'm not trying to say I was unlucky. Like I deserved to lose. His players were just better. So I'm 2-1 playing Corey this week, who I think I did predict would be the worst. I did predict would not win the thing. His team is the best and they're healthy. So I am in a bit of strife, and I've got a few injuries myself. So I'm probably going to lose this one, but at 2-1, the goal's 8 wins. 8 wins gets you in the playoffs. 8 out of 16. So, yeah, I'm doing all right so far. How about yourself?
No. Let's not talk about fantasy. I'm 0-2. I versus Marcus Corder, week 1, lost to him. Week 2 had to bye, so I didn't play anyone. And then week 3, I have been crippled with injuries, and I just can't get anything going, basically. And didn't score much. I think I only second bottom scorer to Marcus Corder, who also has a lot of injuries.
Yes,
so Hero's out for another 3 weeks. Booker's out with the calf strain for a little while. Wendell Carr Jr. broke his finger. He's out for 3 weeks. Marco Fultz has been out for about a week now. And then Trey Murphy III is still another couple of weeks away. So,
and Booker's been missing a few games, so it's probably almost time to drop. Not Booker, obviously, but those Trey Murphys and stuff, maybe, because you're struggling a little bit.
Well, either keep him and just go through the pain, or a drop him and then try and work out something from there. But I had no manoeuvres last week because of a bit of a mistake, and so I couldn't do anything last week. So I'm almost 2 feet already in. So it's just kind of hold on and hope from here. So I don't know. 14. What is it? 16 more games? No, 15 more games. So
we'll play 16 total, I think. So it's been another 13 games.
So I'm pretty close to, I guess, trying something. Otherwise, my season's over. But it is a very difficult league to trade in.
It's getting harder and harder. Obviously, now it's our 3rd season doing this, so everyone's obviously becoming more and more equipped. So trade should become harder and harder to do because teams just know when you've got leverage and know when.
There's not much on the waivers either. It's pretty scarce out there.
So I already know if you came to the trade, well, I'm like, Fletch, you're 0-2.
Yeah.
You have to do this. I don't. So it's that sort of. I think the teams, obviously, the leagues become more knowledgeable, aren't they?
So I'm in the shit. I'm in the mud. But hopefully a few injuries. Booker, I think, is pretty close. Once I get Booker back, it just helps when you get your
second best player out. Was he best?
He's my best player.
Oh,
he's a first round player draft pick, so that helps.
He's missed a fair chunk.
He has missed a lot of games.
Yeah.
He had the toe, then he's done his calf. So anyway, the other team's been better than me. I can't make excuses.
But it still hurts though.
Andy did score the second most points last week.
Andy's flying. Yeah. Andy and Will are the 2 front runners right now.
We will check in on fantasy in 3 weeks' time, and
I
then hopefully get a different story.
Every couple of weeks, I reckon. Yeah, I think we check in just to see how we are tracking.
Good episode from you, Tommy.
Yeah, nice. It was nice just to chat to you. I'm not saying Riley absolutely had something, obviously, but nice just to have a little one-on-one chat with with your fine self.
Yep.
And you said you're not here next week.
No, I'm in Tasmania,
So either we might try and get a Corey on or something, but otherwise it's real intimate me and Riley.
Yep.
We'll see.
There you go.
There you go. So you're missing 2 weeks, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Possibly 2 weeks, but definitely 1, possibly 2. Most
Wow.
likely 2. So,
Jeepers.
working in Tasmania, so
Bugger.
I'll be enjoying down there.
Enjoying. I'm not sure as much to enjoy in Tasmania.
Yeah, it's quiet. That's about it.
It's quiet.
But good episode for yourself, Tommy, and I'll see you next week.
Shall I do? Thanks for listening.